Alright, so we have it started and running. It sounds pretty good. No crazy sounds. The only other thing I did notice, I don't know if you could tell, this is all the way panned out, but it does seem, the engine does seem to have a little bit of movement to it, which I don't remember from before. Like it's kind of doing the whole little wobble back and forth a little bit, which could be normal. I just don't remember it moving as much. Then again, I don't know if, you know, fixing all the other issues, if now other things are going to pop up. You know, because like I said, it does have 230,000 miles, so it could be maybe some other items, some other parts had either are clogged or worn down. Maybe the mixture isn't quite where it needs to be, so maybe it has a little bit of a hiccup to it. I don't know. I don't really hear too much of a hiccup, but it sounds good. Everything's running good, but like I was mentioning earlier, I do have just a small bit of leak, so the fluid, radiator fluid has just a couple spots where it's dripping from, so I might end up having to just change out all those hoses and get new clamps, and hopefully it'll make a better seat and stop the leaks. Alright, so took it for a drive. Drove for about 10 minutes. And it drove fine, it felt good. Up until I started going up a small hill and noticed that it had a loss in power. So even though I was giving it some more gas, it was still losing speed. Not a lot, but enough to where as I slowly engaged the throttle, it still wasn't gaining speed. I was still losing miles per hour. And so I got it back to the house, popped the hood, and noticed that my valve cover gasket is leaking right down here in this front corner here. As you can see, the oil is kind of splattered up here, kind of splattered all down here. So I'm not sure if that would be enough to cause a power loss. Maybe oil pressure goes down and that was enough to cause the power loss. But I mean, it drove, it felt good other than the power loss. But there is that slight shudder. Like even when it's idle, it's only at idle. So as I slow down and come to a stop, it does have a small like shudder. So I'm not sure what that could be caused from. I don't know if it would be that leaking there, or if there's some issue with fuel and oxygen mixing that's not a good mixture ratio wise. So if it's causing it to kind of shudder a little bit. So my next step would be to redo the valve cover gasket, letting it cool down, redo the valve cover gasket, and see if that changes any of the power issues. We'll go from there.